when I took over NETRONIC, I actually had to make my mind on where and how to grow the company, and typically, very basically, you have two options to grow. I mean, you can build additional product for existing customer and for an existing market, or you can leverage on your core competence and build new products for new markets. And as the overall market, being a tool vendor to the software industry, is quite tough, and it's a high volume, low price, and comparably low margin business. I decided actually to build on the core competence that we had and take our Gantt chart competence and build some additional products for new markets. And so I was actually on the search for customers and market that would need these kind of Gantt chart and, as we call it now, visual scheduling capabilities. And while I was on the search for this market, the market found us, and that was the Dynamics Navision partners. And the reason why they quite out of the sudden found us was because Microsoft, from time to time, they changed their technology, and there were times when they discontinued the classic client and invented the role-tailored client, which now also is discontinued for the favor of the web client and Business Central. But in the move from the classic client to the role-tailored client, they kicked out every third-party technology from their solution, and so actually they kicked out our Gantt chart technology from Navision, which we initially thought would be a bad thing, because if you build software for software developers and you can say, hey, Microsoft is our customer, then this gives you credibility. And now this, let's say, shining customer kicked us out. But what it turned out that this would be the best thing that Microsoft could do for us, because there were, although the old classic client production scheduler was, I would say, not the best in the world, there were customers who used it, and there were partners who sold it to customers. And so now out of the sudden, these partners had a problem because they couldn't upgrade their customers because they couldn't deliver the functionality. So they figured out, hey, this classic client scheduler was built with technology from a company called NETRONIC from Germany. So they reached out to us. And then we presented what we had and what you could actually do with our software. And everybody whom I talked to in late 2011, beginning 2012, got really excited about the capabilities we had, but nobody, or almost nobody, bought the product, because in order to work with the component as we had it at that point of time, you needed to have .NET development skills, which were rare in the nav channel at that point of time. So I actually told myself, hey, I need to figure out what is wrong with these nav guys. Why do they give me great feedback on the product but do not buy this? And I need to make my mind if I can sell it to them, or if they just keep me busy with demoing but not purchasing. So, and then cut the long story short, I went to Directions in 2012, and as Directions EMEA was already fully booked, I went to wonderful Phoenix in Arizona in 2012, which was my first Directions ever, to figure out what the nav channel is and what they need and why they don't buy what I have. And then I learned about C-Site and CAL. I learned about the client extensibility framework. And then actually in Phoenix, Arizona, I made the decision that we at NETRONIC should invest in closing the gap between what we had to offer and Navision. And so we learned a bit of Navision, we learned a bit of C-Site, we learned a bit of CAL, and built the visual production scheduler for NAV, which we launched in 2013. And this was not the worst decision of my life, but it was one of the better decisions, because right now what we do for Business Central has become the biggest part of our company and the biggest contributor to revenue and to EBIT. So it's the growth engine of NETRONIC.
Yeah, it's interesting. I as you're sharing that story, I remember living through all of that back when the production schedule was in Navision.
Yeah.
And it was there, and then one day it was no longer there.
It was gone.
And
Yeah.
it was really disappointing. Just because people, I think it's a pretty common expectation that clients have, that there is some sort of visual scheduling tool available.
Yeah. Yes.
And then all of a sudden, and we do a lot of manufacturing business, with manufacturing companies, and all of a sudden there, now there was, a gap in the in that area. So and now it is well filled, right, by actually multiple product offerings.